The challenge Toyota and Lexus is facing is that customer expectations are increasing. The world around us is changing really quickly. Consumer One is a new division within Toyota and Lexus, and our mission is to improve the customer experience and accelerate change with a bedrock really of insight and testing. It's a key pillar of Consumer One's strategy to make sure we can identify the voice of the customer and amplify that across the business and help the company understand how, why and when we need to create new experiences or change the experiences for our customers. To really put the customer at the heart of every decision we make, we need to speak to real customers, and the Insight community allows us to do that, and not just as a Consumer One team but across the business. Talk to Toyota and Talk to Lexus are really practical and tangible ways that we can input the voice of the customer into our projects. We've got all levels of the business, all departments, really seeing this as an opportunity to speak to customers on a one-to-one basis or on a wider research piece to get some input into the work that they're doing. The other big advantage of our community is speed. We need to be agile and we need to make decisions quickly because the world is changing quickly, and this really allows us to do that. So we can get a really good feel for what customers think and feel quickly, and compared to other research methods it's so much quicker. We're getting responses in less than 24 hours in most cases. So one great example of how we've used the community is for our Handover project. Handover was identified as an area in the customer journey where we were underperforming. So we had various concepts that we could do to improve the handover experience, but we wanted to make sure that we refined those really using the voice of the customer. And it was brilliant actually, because perhaps some of our assumptions about what would and wouldn't work were changed as a result of that direct customer feedback, and it's meant that we're now going into pilot with some of these ideas, and we've got the impetus of knowing that these ideas have been validated by our customers. Another example of how we've used the community is to look at the area of price transparency. We wanted to understand how, not necessarily about changing the price, but how customers trust and understand the pricing propositions that we put in place for both sales and after sales. So we asked questions over 3 days about various topics, and this was fantastic because it wasn't just us getting feedback, actually customers were talking to each other as well, and so we got really rich insight into how customers were perceiving price. That was phase 1. For phase 2, we've used that insight and also some observations within the network and other research to then define a much larger quant study, and that will help us now define the direction for our recommendations and next steps. Some of the future projects that we have in mind for our Insight community are looking at customers' perceptions of new technology such as autonomous driving. And also we are going to start a more regular survey that asks customers at what stage in the purchase journey or ownership journey they're currently at. And this gives us a smaller group of customers, but that we can tap in regular basis to really understand what's relevant to them right now and get some really rich data from that.